Good morning, Facebook. This is Gail from New Story Community Books, for those of you that don't know me. And welcome to our very first Facebook Live selling situation that we've been through. Oops, hold on. We've got some things that are popping up on my screen since I've never done Facebook Live through this, but it looks like we're good to go now. All right, it was telling me customizations, and I'm not customizing anything. I'm just here to talk about books and talk about our store. So like I said, my name's Gail, for those of you that have never been in the store. We are New Story Community Books. We are a small independent bookstore located in downtown Marshall, Michigan. We sell both new and used books here in store and through our website, which I will talk about in just a moment. But I'm just going to get the confirmation that everything is going. Maybe it's not. Okay, we are going? Okay. Perfect. So then I'm going to start talking through all the things. There's a long list of stuff for me to talk through, so I made myself some notes. As a teacher, that's something that you do. I teach as well, for those of you that don't know me. So like I said, downtown Marshall, Michigan, we are open 7 days a week. We will even be open on Father's Day, and we'll be open on Independence Day. So our normal hours are 10 to 6 on Mondays. Yeah, Mondays through Thursdays. And then Fridays and Saturdays, starting next week, will be open from 10 to 7. And then on Sundays, we're also open from noon to 5. So you can swing on into the bookstore. You can give us a call if there's something that you've got a question about. But we would love to have interactions with you and to be able to talk to you about books and about cool bookish things that you can get through our store. So like I said, we have both new and used books in stock. We have both of them on separate parts of the store. It's kind of varied throughout the store about where it's organized and how it's organized, but you can always ask. You can also check out our entire list of inventory on our website that we have in store, that we have available, and you can also order new books through our website. If you'd like to order a used book that we don't already have in store, just contact us. You can give us a call, you can email us, and we can see about getting that for you and send you a quote about that, right? Like I said, you can order anything through our website that we have in store. You can even reserve it, and we'll put it behind the counter for you, and you can come and pick it up. We also do shipping as well. We can ship books anywhere in the continental U.S., and we also have free shipping available if you purchase over $30 worth of merchandise. And we can also have delivery if you live in a local area, some areas of Marshall and Battle Creek. We've got some zip codes that are available on our website that you can check out and see if you qualify for free shipping, if you have, or for free delivery, local delivery, if you live within one of those zip codes. I don't remember all of them, didn't write them down. Gail doesn't do a whole lot with numbers. I'm a language person, which is why I'm here in a bookstore, right, for my fun job. Let's see, what other things do I need to talk about? Look at that, we're on a second page of stuff for me to talk about, guys, right? So we have a ton of sales both in store and online, and they change every week. But our last one for today is we've got some children's books. All of our children's books are on sale, both new and used, 15% off. So if you've got kids, or if you know some kids that you would like to get some books for, or maybe you just like to read kids' books yourself, that's totally fine. We don't judge, right? Today is a good day for you to get those either online or you come in store. And then starting tomorrow, so through our next week, we're going to have some young adult books on sale. So once again, if you know some young adults, or if you'll like to read those books, I totally do, because I teach young adults, so I love to read young adult literature. You'll want to check out our website or come in store so that you can get some of those deals that we'll have going on both new and used books in store. Right. We also have a lot of things besides books in our store. For those of you that have never been in, you'll see behind me we've got some cool wall art. We've got some awesome pillows for basically any fandom that you could possibly think of. And we've got a whole bunch of other gift things that we've got in store. So make sure that you swing on down or check out our website. We've got lots of great gifts that celebrate all things book related, and they're great gifts for Father's Day too. We will be open tomorrow. Like I said, it's a great place for you to get some last minute gifts. And you can also get gift cards so Dad can pick out whatever he'd like to have on his own, right? And I think that's all of my list of things. Are any other things that you, tech person behind the screen, would like for me to talk about? All right, cool. I'm getting a lot of head shakes and nods, so if there's something that I forgot, we'll come back to it later. So this is our very first Facebook Live selling video, as I said before, so we're trying things out. Please tag people, share this video, let people know that we're here. Anybody that might be interested in the books that we're going to be showcasing today. So I was introduced to a term by a lovely and faithful customer, Heather. This is your shout out, Heather. a couple, or about a year ago, I think, a term called cover love. I don't know if anyone else had heard this one before, but I'd never heard this before. But that's when you find a book that's just absolutely beautiful and you love it just because it looks pretty. Gail loves things that that look pretty, right? Especially book things. I'm such a sucker for pretty special editions, and so we decided that for one of our first selling videos, we were going to showcase some of the really neat additions that we have for classic books in store, and I also really wanted to show you guys some books that are just absolutely gorgeous in their covers. Publishers spend a lot of money on designing these covers, and so we better appreciate them, right? So here's how this is going to work for our very first sale. We have a list already built on our website under the subheading Live Lists. It's called Cover Love. And if you want to purchase any of the books that you see in this live video, you can click on that link and you can go through and you can find those books. You can reserve ones that we have in store, or if we're out of stock by the time you get to it, you can click to order some of these books as well, because I think all the ones that we're showing today are new books that we can reorder as needed, right? Excuse me. And there's also there are other books on that list that I'm not showing today because there are so many cool and pretty books that we have in this store. So chances are, if you don't see a classic that you absolutely love, but you would love to see a pretty version of it, we likely have it in store or can order one, right? So make sure that you come and check out all of our fine binding stuff that we have in store, or check out our lists online. So without further ado, I'm going to start showing some of these books. Like I said, if you are interested in purchasing any of these books, click on the link that should be in the name, or yes, in the name of this video. You can click on the link that's there, and I think it's also been posted in the comments. If not, it will be later on. But that's how you can shop this entire live sessions list. All right, so let's get started. So I really wanted to start off with this beautiful edition of The Secret Garden. I know that I remember reading this book with my mom when I was a kid, and just it was one of the first books that I remember reading with her, where I just absolutely loved the imagery that was in this. And this is one of the prettiest editions of The Secret Garden that I've ever seen. So it's actually a lavender book. You can see that. And this is just the cover. This is the dust jacket, right? It's all cutouts all throughout. And so you've got the title right down here. You've got your picture of our lovely heroine, right? And you've got the portal entrance, I guess you could say. Ooh, everything is backwards for me on here, going into that secret garden. And it also goes around on the back side as well. You just can't see it because right here it's got a list of what the book's about, right? We have other books that are also available with this type of cover. I'm not going to showcase other ones because we've got, like I said, so many books to go through today, and I don't want to bore you with all of those. But check out our website, or you can always just call or email or ask if we can order a book similar to this. So if you're interested, like I said, in this book, go check out that live list that's in the comments and in the name of this video, and so that you can order this book from us. So Secret Garden, right? Beautiful lavender with a really neatly designed dust jacket going on there. All right, I know that we've got some Tolkien fans out there, and so I couldn't resist showcasing. Now we have a few beautiful versions of the Lord of the Rings series itself, and for those of you that have people in your life, or you are one of those who already has all the Lord of the Rings books, we've got a lot of supplemental cool things that you can find in store that deal with the lore and the background of Tolkien. So this is one that I wanted to showcase to you guys. It's Encyclopedia of Tolkien, all right? So David Day, oops, down by this finger, right? David Day does an awful lot of Tolkien-related book stuff, and this book is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got gilt edges, right? It's got faux leather. It's not real leather. It's got a faux leather binding here, and it's got the gilt lettering as well. You've got your dragon. Smog? Is that right? Is it Smog? I don't know. I've never read Lord of the Rings. I'm a terrible, terrible English major, right? And there's people that are very upset with me that I've never read it. But anyway, you've got a dragon on the front cover, right? And you've got some of the Middle Earth background going on there that's kind of like engraved into the faux leather binding. But this is a really awesome book for anybody who's a Lord of the Rings fan, and just gives background information on the characters, on the settings, right, and on some of the history, I guess, that goes along with this fantastical land. So once again, if you're interested in ordering this book, reserving a copy of this book, click on that link and go straight to the live list, and then you'd be able to order this book. So we've got Encyclopedia of Tolkien right there. Another lovely Lord of the Rings book that I fell in love with as soon as I saw it. Like I said, never read Lord of the Rings, but I love pretty covers. I got a copy of The Hobbit right here. It's got, oops, I keep looking on the wrong side. It's got our little Hobbit right down on the bottom cover there. It's got some gilt lettering right throughout, and it is illustrated, my friends. Look at this. We've got some beautiful illustrations that accompany the text, right? There's another dragon for those that like dragons. All the way throughout. This is not a leather binding. This is almost a cloth type binding, but it's a little bit oversized, but it's absolutely a gorgeous book. And I highly encourage you, if you've got anybody in your life that has all of the Lord of the Rings, but they don't have this, don't have an illustrated version of The Hobbit, right? Go click on that link so that you can get this from. It's a great gift for anybody who's a Lord of the Rings super fan, right? All right, I'm going to move away from Lord of the Rings, even though there's tons of other books and items and merchandise that we've got here in the store related to Lord of the Rings. We're going to move on to some other types of books too, right? So I've got another classic going on over here. So if there's anybody who's interested or loves The Wizard of Oz, we have a beautiful version right here. So this is a dust jacket that can slide off. It just tells you what the book is on the top, on the first part of it. I'm going to take this right off so I can show you what's underneath, because this is what's absolutely gorgeous, right? You got your classic, you got your yellow brick road, excuse me, you've got all of your characters walking along on the yellow brick road to the Emerald City. In this corner, everything's backwards. It's hard for me to do, right? But you've got the title on this side. There it is, right? Already in gold. You got some gilt edges that are going on here as well. And what's really cool about this edition is that it looks like it's all one-dimensional, but there's texture to it. So the clouds are a little bit puffed out from the rest of the book. You can feel all the bricks in that yellow brick road, right? So this is just an absolutely gorgeous edition, and even look at these pictures or that accompany some of the text there. So it's got the cover. And that also goes around to the back side too. I know that some people really appreciate when you've got your continuous image, right? So if you've got anybody in your life that likes The Wizard of Oz, this would be a beautiful copy that you could get for them as a gift or get for yourself. I'll put this back on here before I forget about it and lose it. Lost its matting, we don't want that. Okay, this one is my personal favorite, guys. Ugh, I am resisting so hard from getting this book. I love Jane Austen. I know there's some people who have very strong opinions about Jane Austen, but I love Jane Austen. And this is one of the most beautiful Jane Austen books that we have in store. So this is the complete novels of Jane Austen. So it is thick. It is very hefty. It's a tome, a true tome, but it's got gilt edges, like a lot of the books that we've been seeing. This one features Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion, which is going to be on Netflix as a movie, I think, coming out very soon. So if you haven't checked out that trailer, go take a peek at that. And then come buy this book so you can read Persuasion, right, along with it. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous book. I love florals. Yeah, I love florals. And I love the floral design that's on here. Once again, there's some texture that goes along with that. Got some beautiful gilt edges all the way around and some scroll right here as well. So anybody who likes Jane Austen, this would be a beautiful gift, or once again, something that you can have that's just beautiful and impressive to put on your own shelf. I mean, who would not be impressed seeing that sticking out of their bookshelf, right, guys? Look at, one, it's a big book. Two, it's beautiful, right? So Jane Austen complete set. You can click on that link, like I said, in the name of this video, or you can click on the link that's in the comments that you can purchase. All right, another Jane Austen book. So we have individual Jane Austen books as well going on in the store, and this one is another faux leather edition. I love this one. I like shiny things, in case you guys haven't noticed so far, right? But this one also has some beautiful gilt scrolling along this, and it's complemented by some of the white floral designs. So it got Sense and Sensibility. This one does not have gilt edges, but it does have colored pages, which gives it kind of an old-timey feel, I guess you could say, with it. This is just a lovely copy of Sense and Sensibility, and we have several other versions that are similar to this with the faux leather type binding that we have in store. I'm not going to show all of them because, like I said, we'd be here for hours. My boss doesn't want to pay me for hours and hours of talking about these kinds of books over and over, right? But this is just an absolutely gorgeous copy of Sense and Sensibility. So once again, if you've got another Jane Austen fan in your life, or if you are and would love to have something beautiful and impressive on your shelf, once again, look at that. If you can imagine that sticking out of a bookcase, that's absolutely gorgeous right there. Click on that link and you can order this copy of Sense and Sensibility. All right, so we're going to move away from cutesy pretty things and go into something that's darker. So Gail doesn't really read dark things, but this is just too cool of a cover. Where are my Lovecraft fans at, right? So this is, once again, another hefty tome full of Lovecraft's tales of horror. Oh, goodness, this one doesn't list on the back what's in here. Let's see what I've got. Ooh, I love the end papers, that mirror, that mimic what's on the outside. It's got, I don't know, it's not Cthulhu, right? It's not Cthulhu. I don't know anything about Lovecraft. Let's see. Oh, it's got a ton. These are all short. They're all short books, but you can take a peek on the inside. I do not recognize any of these because, like I said, I've never read Lovecraft because scary things don't jive well with Gail. But it's an absolutely gorgeous book. It's got the tentacles back on the back cover there. Once again, something else that's really neat to have sticking out of your bookcase. The Tales of Horror. So if you've got anybody in your life who does like scary things, right, or creepy things, I'm not sure, gilt edges, right, or anyone who just appreciates Lovecraft, this would be a great gift to purchase. Great Father's Day gift for anybody who likes or whose dads like these kinds of things, right? Click on that link so you can order our copy of H.P. Lovecraft's Tales of Horror in this gorgeous version. All right, on my second shelf, guys, we're trucking right along. I know that we've got some people who are watching who like Alice in Wonderland. I have a soft spot for Alice in Wonderland myself, and so I loved this version that we've got. It's a little bit oversized. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous cover. This is a hardcover. It has a dust jacket that goes along with it. And it's got some of the gilt lettering here, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. But it's just such a sweet image that we've got in there of Alice going through all the plants. And got your Cheshire Cat up in the corner. And got your caterpillar right in that top corner. Use some nods. You got your white rabbit with the classic clock. It's on the spine there, so once again, something beautiful that you can have peeking out of your bookcase. And then you've got some pretty illustration on the back, right, with a classic quote from the book, and you got your King, Queen of Hearts on the back there as well. So this is just an absolutely lovely addition. This has some images that go along with the text, right, inside as well, kind of like that just supplemented the text. And I also just noticed as I opened it up, it's got really cute little nods to everything that happens in the book. On the inside fly paper, right? Or yeah, fly paper. Not the fly paper that hangs from your ceiling. Not that. The fly leaf. Fly leaf. That's the word. Not fly paper. Fly leaf is the word that I want for that, right? So this is a great copy of anyone that you know in your life loves Alice in Wonderland, or it's a great gift for somebody who might have a child, right, that is going to be appreciating Alice in Wonderland, but the parents might appreciate Alice in Wonderland. Click on that link so that you can order this copy that we've got. I've got another version that's a little bit, I would say, necessarily grown up, but it's in the same vein as the Lovecraft and that Jane Austen book that we looked at earlier. It's by the same publishing company. So we've got another copy of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I just thought this was such a cute illustration with the white rabbit and then all the cards going along with it. And then it also on the back side has some of the original illustrations that go along with the text of the cards, painting the roses red, right, throughout. It's got the white rabbits on the spine there as well. And it also has other stories besides just Alice's Adventures in Wonderland that are related by Lewis Carroll. It's got the gilt edges like we saw previously, right? This one does not have any illustrations other than what went along with the regular book, right? So we've got some illustrations of the text. It's got some Looking Glass stories that are in here too. But the flyleafs have illustrations from the original text in full color. It's got that lovely tea party on both edges there. So once again, anybody who likes Adventures in Wonderland, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, anything that is related to Lewis Carroll, then this would be a great version for you to pick up for them. So click on that link so that you're able to purchase this copy of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Stories for yourself or as a gift. So this is when I can't open this up, and the reason is because this has interactive elements within it. So if anybody in your life likes pop-ups or liked pop-ups as a kid or may like pop-ups in the future, this would be a great version of The Little Mermaid and other fairy tales that are Hans Christian Andersen. that we've got here. So it's got a lot of interaction-y pieces. I'm going to show a couple of things that are on the back because, like I said, can't open it up because it's brand new and I don't want to lose any of the pieces parts for anybody who wants this book, right? But you've got lots of interactive elements, things that you can pull out from the text, right? But it's got beautiful gilt lettering once again on the front cover. Like I said, Gail likes shiny things apparently. Illustrations from that classic tale of Little Mermaid. In each of these spots, and then it's got some other fairy tales would also be within this. So anybody who likes pretty editions of fairy tales like me, right, this would be a great version for you to pick up. We also have a version of another Alice in Wonderland, but I already showed you two Alice in Wonderland, so I wasn't going to show another one. And there's other fairy tales that we can also in children's books that we can get that are similar to this that have interaction-y pieces. So like I said, check out our website for books that are in this series or printed by the same publisher, or ones that we can order if we don't have them in store, of Little Mermaid and other fairy tales by Hans Christian Andersen. So I know I loved horse books when I was a kid. I went through the horse phase, and this just brought back all the feels from when I read Black Beauty and used to watch. I don't know if anybody else remembers that animated Black Beauty video from back when there were VHSs, right, guys? But this is a copy of Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. And it just has some beautiful images on both sides. And this is one of our used/remainder books, so it's a little bit cheaper than what you could find at other big box stores and things to that effect. And it would be applied anytime that we have used book sales. This would be one of those types of books that would also apply in that. So you could get yourself a great and like new copy of a classic with a beautiful faux leather binding. Right, this is a very pretty. Look, it's got Black Beauty down at the very bottom there too, and you could get it for even cheaper than you could for getting it like at a big box store. This one does not have any illustrations on the inside. There's nothing pretty on its fly leaves. It does have what's on the cover is repeated on the front title page. But this is an absolutely gorgeous copy of Black Beauty, and we have lots of other classics in the same style. So once again, if you're interested in a different type of classic book, you can always check with us, check out our website if you'd like to see if we've got one in this style. So like I said, click on that link so that you can order a copy of Black Beauty. This is one of my very favorite types of fine bindings that we have in store. So we have a ton of brightly colored and beautiful faux leather bindings of classics. And so they've got the titles, all of them have the titles like this, they've got the author, and then they have terms and phrases and famous quotes from the text that are all around the title. So I picked up a copy of Jane Eyre because this is one of my very favorite classics by Charlotte Bronte. And so I just love it because, one, it feels really cool because it's faux leather, it's very pliable, so it's not one of those stiff faux leathers like kind of like the Tolkien books that we saw earlier. Very flexible, and it doesn't have any illustrations in it, but this is just an absolutely gorgeous book to have on your shelf. We have a whole bunch of them. You'll see any of them, they've got bindings kind of like this with the title, right, and then the author once again in gilt. And these words are not just printed on it, they're embedded, I guess you could say. There's a different word for it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So there's texture to it, so they are within the cover itself. But beautiful copy of Jane Eyre, and like I said, if you're interested in other classics, likely we have a version like this of your favorite classic book. So once again, click on the link that you can order this copy of Jane Eyre or any of the other books in this type of series. So I also love anything that's by the Bronte sisters, and I thought this was just an absolutely gorgeous version. So this one does have Jane Eyre, and it has a couple of other books in here as well. So the Bronte sisters. So we have Charlotte, who wrote Jane Eyre, and we have Emily, who wrote Wuthering Heights, and then we had to look up this morning. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Anne. It was Anne. I was right. Who wrote The Tenant of Wildfell Hall? But all three of those books are featured in this lovely, once again, a tome, right? This lovely version of selected works by the Bronte sisters, who are very prolific writing family. Look at how beautiful this cover is, though. Once again, there's lots of gilt edging to this, and you've got, it looks almost worn, but it's not, right? This is the way that it was printed. And you've got your flowers down here, you've got your manor at the back, and you've got lots of scrolling leaves. You've got a beautiful beautiful binding. Once again, imagine that sticking out of your bookcase and how impressive that looks, right? And it's got a very pretty back once again, lists all of the books that are in this, and it's got some pretty flowers and florals on the back. So once again, if you're interested in a copy of the Bronte Sisters, or if you know somebody that would be, click on that link so that you can order a copy of this beautiful book for yourself or for somebody else. My last classic for you guys. This one I can't open up for you because it is encased in plastic to protect it, but we've got a copy of The Color Purple by Alice Walker. We've got a couple of other books that are similar to this, like I know we've got Sun That Rises, and I think there's another one, but this is just an absolutely lovely copy. It's a beautiful mustard yellow, right, and it's got some of the purple, right, from the title that's surrounding it, and it's even got a little penguin, is for the publisher. It's also in purple as well by Alice Walker. So oops, I'm going to flip it this way. So this is what it would look like if it were sitting on its spine, right? But this is the way that the book would look if it was sitting face out. It's got color purple on the spine as well with the author, and once again, all of that's in purple. Nothing pretty on the back. It's just plain. But this is also something that you could have on your shelf. It's just very classy. Just a very classy copy of a classic book. So once again, if you're interested in The Color Purple, you can click on that link and order a copy for yourself or for somebody else. So I've gone through all of my classics that I have to show you guys today, but like I said, there's more on that list that I gave you. I'm going to show you a few of the new books that we have in store that have just recently come out within the past year or so, and a favorite that I have from a little bit more than a year ago, to just showcase some of the beautiful covers that we have that publishers, like I said, pay a lot of money for, so we can appreciate them. So first one I want to show you guys is Elektra by Jennifer Saint. She wrote Ariadne, which I read that book last summer, and so that was a retelling of the Minotaur myth from Greek mythology. And so we've got this version which just came out recently, Elektra. It's got a beautiful orange cover. You can see here, I just love, just once again, cover love. It's so pretty. I want it on my shelf just because it's pretty, but it's also got a great story inside of it. It's got three lovely ladies that are featured throughout the book. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what this book is. So like I said, this is the newest book by Jennifer Saint, who wrote Ariadne, and it retells the Greek mythology surrounding the women Elektra, I'm going to butcher this, Clytemnestra, and Agamemnon. So for those of you that are more familiar with Greek mythology than I am, you could probably say this a lot better than I can, right? But it follows these three men and the curse that surrounds their family. So it's just a great retelling. So if you're somebody who's interested in retellings, I love fairy tale and mythological retellings myself. Once again, so it's a beautiful book and it's got a great story. You can click on that link and you can order this copy of Elektra or order a copy for somebody else. So the last book that I had was a standalone. This is also a standalone, but it's a sister to, or a sibling book is what is said, to the other book by this author. So we've got Jennifer Egan's The Candy House. This was just recently released, and let's just take a moment to appreciate the gorgeous colors that are featured throughout this. It's so bright and fun, and Gail likes bright and fun, colorful things, and it looks very pixelated because it kind of has to deal with a technological standpoint. So this is the same author who wrote A Visit from the Goon Squad previously, and this is a sibling novel, so it takes place in a similar vein, in a similar world, I guess, world imagining, but it is not necessary to have read the Visit from the Goon Squad before you read this book. So this is speculative fiction, and it follows the story of Bix, who in the 2010s, I know seems like so long ago, but really it wasn't, right, guys, where new technology has been developed that allows people to access any of the memories that they've ever created and to share those memories. So it's almost like social media for your memories. And so this book kind of delves into what that might look like, both the good and the bad of it. So if you're interested in speculative fiction, dystopian type stuff, why don't you order yourself a copy of The Candy House, or like I said, a great gift for somebody who likes those kinds of books. So we've got The Wise Women by Gina Sorrell is the next book that I found. I just absolutely loved this cover because it's so bright and fun for summertime, right? You're not going to lose this book because it's so bright and neon. Like, look at those really cool colors. It gives me all the 90s vibes just with the covers, but it's not set in the 90s. So this is very different from the previous two books that we've looked at. This is more realistic fiction and a little bit more lighthearted and family-based than the other books that we've taken a peek at. So it follows the story of an advice columnist who has to kind of give advice to herself because her family life is not necessarily going to the perfect idyllic world that she would like for it to be, right? She has to deal with sticky situations that crop up in not only her own life but also in her adult daughters' lives. And so it's just a really heartwarming book. For anybody who's ever been an exasperated parent and just been like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to you? Right? So this is just a great book for that. So take a peek at The Wise Woman. Go read the full reviews on that and order a copy from our website. I know I am somebody who really likes fantasy books or fictional like retellings and things to that effect, and I just absolutely dove at this one, a little more fantasy base. When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. You may recognize that name if you have anything to do with middle readers, because she also wrote The Girl Who Drank the Moon, which was her middle reader foray. This is an adult foray, very much. It's an adult book, not like, adult like 50 Shades of Grey, not that kind of adult, but you know what I mean. It's not necessarily, I wouldn't hand this to a 10-year-old. So this is a fantasy that reimagines an event in the 1950s where suddenly thousands and thousands of women all turn into dragons, as the title tells, right? And look at this beautiful cover that features the dragon scales, right, and the dragon eye in it among beautiful flowers, and you got your moon up in the front, in the very top. So they all turn into dragons, and what do they do when they're dragons? They rampage and pillage and destroy, right? And it also deals with what happens afterwards. So the repercussions of that event and how people choose to view that event, the aftermath. And so it kind of lightly touches upon the idea of what happens when a group of people, specifically in this case when women, band together and they reach for a goal, and what can be accomplished and what can also happen from that. So if you're interested, like I said, click on that link either in the title or in the comments and order a copy of When Women Were Dragons. Look how beautiful that cover is. So I know that we have a few people that come in asking for Anne Tyler, and this is Anne Tyler's most recent book. It's called French Braid. She wrote the Pulitzer Prize winning book, A Spool of Blue Thread, years ago, but this is her most recent book, came out just over the past month. It's just got this gorgeous cover of French braided, like a rag rug. I don't know if you guys remember rag rugs. I know I remember them from my childhood. I have one in my apartment, but I just love all the colors once again that are in this and the beautiful circular pattern that goes along with it, right? So this is a realistic fiction, no dragons this time. It's a family drama, and so it deals with the effects that different family members can have upon one another, not just in the moment, but also throughout the rest of their lifetime, and throughout the decades. So it's a multi-decade, multi-generational book. So if you're interested in French Braid by Anne Tyler, like I said, order from our website, call or email if you really would like to contact a real human being, right? And we can get you a copy of French Braid. This is a little bit less recent of a release, but I just thought it was an absolutely gorgeous cover. Look at this. It's shiny. It's shiny, guys, right? This is called Bright Burning Things. It's got lovely gold and pink tints to it. It's kind of mimicking that fire that goes along with the title. And this is a much more serious book than some of the other ones that I've shown you. So this is about a former starlet who she kind of becomes gripped in the throes of different types of addiction. And so it deals with not only her struggle that she has, but also how that affects other people in her life and in her family. And so she ultimately comes to the point of she needs to find a better way to deal with this and come to terms with and overcome her addiction, or the fate of her family and also the fate of her young child. are hanging in the balance. So will she be able to overcome that addiction? You'd have to order a copy of Bright Burning Things in order to find out. It's by Lisa Harding over here. So like I said, click on that link and you can order a copy of Bright Burning Things. All right, my last one to show you guys. I really like this book a lot more than I thought I would. And it's not a new release, but I just rave about this book all the time. If you have not read Mexican Gothic, highly encourage you to go and read it. I was reading it because I am not somebody who typically reads in the mystery thriller or horror genre. And this is kind of one that spans a little bit of all those things and a little bit of fantasy as well. It just kind of, it goes in a lot of different places. So we had a hard time actually categorizing this book, but let's appreciate the beauty of that cover, right? You've got the green wallpaper-esque background and you've got this beautiful portrait of a woman, right, in a lovely wine-colored dress, and she's got some flowers. They are not the liveliest necessarily flowers. They're actually marigolds, which, fun fact, are representations of death in Mexican culture. So yeah, fun fact for that, right? But this is a really cool story about a young socialite in Mexico, coming from a well-to-do family, and she becomes kind of an amateur sleuth. She gets a message from her cousin that she feels like she's being haunted by something, and so she goes to visit. It's set in the 1950s, so this is pre-social media. She goes to visit and kind of figure out what's going on, and as she gets there, she also starts to experience some really creepy things. Not just creepy vibes about the people that are staying in the house with her and with her cousin, but also just about the house itself. And so it's a spooky book. It's a slow burn, and it's a great mystery, but it's not too gory, right? So it's not on the level of Stephen King. So if you're interested in getting a copy of Mexican Gothic, like I said, order from our website or contact us so that you can get yourself a copy. That also, it did come out in paperback as well. We just happen to have the hardcover right here, but you can order it in paperback as well. All right, well, that's all that I have for you guys today. There are more things that are on that list. There's a couple other things I wanted to let you guys know about, though. You can come and see us not just in store, but you can also check us out in Battle Creek. We are there weekly on Wednesdays at the Farmers Market in downtown Festival Market Square. And we are there normal hours, I think 9 to 1, is that what I believe. You can order stuff from our store and you can have it brought to the farmers market and you can pick up from there, so you can save on shipping, save yourself a trip out to Marshall through all the construction, and save on gas, right? Right now everybody loves that. And you can also come and check us out during some of the events that are happening in downtown Marshall. The next one that's coming up is actually July 16th, so just a couple weeks from now. Put this on your calendar. We've got the Market on Main, which is going to be a really cool block party. We're going to shut down the street and we're going to have lots of fun sales and activities and games. Make sure that you come and check ours out. You can find more information about that in our newsletter. So we'll be sending that out very shortly, and you can check out all of our sales that we have coming up. And we'll find out a little bit more about those and about cool things that are going on with our bookstore, in our bookstore, and ways that you can support us through that newsletter. You can get signed up for the newsletter either by sending us an email, or you can call the store, or you can come into the store, and let's get your email on file for our newsletter to become an insider into all things at New Story Community Books. Well, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you coming and shopping with us today. Like I said, tag people, share this video, let people know about our store, and what we would love for you to do is do a little bit of interaction on this video with us. Give us a comment, give us some feedback, or what we would love even more than that is for you to give us some suggestions. What other things would you like for us to do lives about? What other kinds of things would you like us to show you that we have that you can order through our website? So leave it in the comment below for us, and check out our live that's coming up next week. I will not be here, but we will have some of my lovely coworkers are going to be talking about all things related to literature and things that you can get involved with Pride, for celebrating Pride Month. So once again, thanks so much, guys, and hope to see your faces in our store.